you know, a weird thing starts to happen. They bring up Tupac, how he died, and everything else, right? And Young Noble wasn't the really person you saw back when they were really doing their thing back in the day. Noble wasn't that guy you saw all the time. He was quiet. He wasn't even rapping with them like that when they first came out. He was there. Came out, he was the barber, did his thing. But Young Noble wasn't the guy y'all would see. You know, you saw Gaddafi, you saw everybody, even in the photos. You know, he was just there. Then he started to rhyme, and you start seeing him more and more. And he became more prominent with the group and his rhymes and stuff. Like right before Pac, right near the end, that final year of Pac's life. So this is why for me it's different. Now, Noble is the one that I had contact with. Out of all the outlaws, Young Noble is the one I had contact with. And let's speak on how that happened. Now, Young Noble, in case you didn't know, for some people that didn't know, I was a very successful YouTuber. And I had all the truth behind the hip hop beats. And who was listening? Other rappers. So Young Noble was aware of me. Just like a lot of other people was like, damn, dude know his shit. He's been around some things. So now, here's how when Gonzo died, how he everything turned around and he started to know who I was. And that went to another level is when Gonzo passed. You see, when Gonzo passed, that changed a lot. Let me see, I just got a message. That changed a lot for a lot of people because I was driving when I found out. It just went live. And the way I told the story was kind of messed up that people thought I thought Young Noble passed. And that's not what I'm saying. Damn, we ain't even did nothing. Wow. That's crazy. Are you kidding me? That's nuts. Now, anybody, where did they leave off at? Anybody want to tell me where did they leave off at? What part about Gonzo? Okay, I'll start back there. Gonzo had passed, right? And when I first heard of Gonzo, I never heard, because in the Outlaws, his name wasn't Gonzo. So he didn't go by the name of Gonzo. So when all of that happened and went down, I think I said when he first came in the group, I thought like he was Young Noble. Gonzo was in caution. Yeah, he was in the group caution and saying he was an outlaw. I didn't know, like, who is he? So I'm thinking the Young Noble was him at first. So that's what I was saying. Not that, and at the time of his death, I thought he was Young Noble. That's how it got misconstrued in the video. Now, Young Noble actually, somebody sent him the video because it was like, oh, he said Young Noble was dead. Rest in peace to Young Noble. But I think I had said that by mistake in the video because yeah, they keep trying to. Yeah, they keep messing with the signal. I don't know why. So anyway, I don't know why. So anyway, in that video, somebody sent it to Young Noble and said, Noble, you need to see this. So he saw the video, got in contact with me, and was like, yo, I don't really mess with a lot of YouTube dudes. And I watched your Truth Behind videos, and you be on point, you're doing your thing, but you got it wrong. You gotta fix that. Like I'm not, people talking about I died. This back when Gonzo died. And I said, I did already. I already went and did that. Immediately, they got it wrong. So I explained it to him, what I was actually saying. And he said, oh, okay, that makes sense. And he was like, you a real one, because most guys, most of these internet dudes, but he's like, I could tell you've been around. You ain't one of these like young dudes. And he was always respectful. Always respectful, dog. And that was a key thing about him. Noble. Perfect word, perfect name for him. He was noble. Like everything about him. He was humble, mostly quiet. But when he reached out, that's what was up. A lot of people didn't know he had had a heart attack about 4 to 5 years ago. So when he had the heart attack 4 or 5 years ago, he had to take a lot of meds. And Yuck Mouth, shouts out to Yuck. Yuck Mouth talked to him. And I heard what Yuck said. Yuck said that he had stopped taking the medicine because it was making him suicidal. Now, I don't know what kind of medicine he was taking, but the medication was leading to Great Depression. Now, everybody started to glaze the Clips album. Right from the jump. First thing they did was start glazing the Clips album. I haven't even gotten to that point yet. I'm gonna sit back and sit with it, then go from there, then take it all in stride. See, that's what you gotta do. Some people forget that. You gotta learn how to take it in stride and give it a one listen without being polluted by everybody on the internet, prisoner of the moment. So I'm gonna sit down with it. Yeah, man. No, his outlaw thing. Last time I heard from Young Noble was when he was having back and forth with Muta. That was the last I heard of. And he was just saying it's just the same old shit at the time. But this is why it's never good to fight with your brother, because life is short. You know, people go, you blink and it's 10 years. You blink, it's 15 years. Another blink. Now y'all ain't talk for 25 years and nobody know the reason why. It's like 25 years and we don't even communicate. Like we was brothers. Don't even make sense. It don't. It's like, man, we supposed to be sharing success stories and talking families and all that. Where we go wrong? So things was never the same. You know, a loss, a death could just be the shattering piece, you know, that just damage and destroy everything. No, he had a son that was autistic. I think he had a daughter, but he's very private, man. He was nice. Pen game was nice. He didn't rap like the rest of them. When he came into the Outlaws, he was the barber. Like, he was their homeboy, but he used to just cut everybody's hair. But according to his words, he didn't want to, you know, tell everybody he was a rapper. You know, he didn't want to come down there and be, hey, man, I rap too. So he would just gradually spit bars with the rest of them. And Pac was like, all this time you could rap? So it was only right that he sat down and built with his brothers, you know. What happened to the Outlaws? I'll tell you like this. Here's what happened to the Outlaws. Noble had gave me a thumbs up on the video, so I had told people before. They had a lot of drama, like within the industry. It wasn't necessarily, everybody keep thinking it's Puffy. Like Noble think it's Puffy. You know, Puffy got influence. He paid dudes. Puffy didn't care about it like that. Puffy's like, look, ain't no biz, ain't no money in this beef shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he really didn't want beef. He thought it was stupid. There's no money in that. Club, dance, party. That's where the money's at. Making them want to dance. Making people want to go to the club. So that's where his mindset was at. Wasn't into no beef. A lot of people think and put a lot on Puffy like he's some mob boss. And it's crazy. Now, the problem with the Outlaws is that they come back to the East Coast. And they're in the middle of this East Coast, West Coast thing. And you over there rapping with Pac on Hit 'Em Up. And it's a lot of East Coast people who just street. They ain't even need a rapper to be behind. And they don't like y'all. And mostly it was radio DJs couldn't stand the Outlaws. They didn't want to hear that anyway. You wasn't talking about party and none of this. And Diddy and them was hot. They had mace. They had shiny suits. They were doing their thing. So they got all the spins. Nobody's trying to hear the Outlaws on the radio. Now, if you have Mobb Deep, who y'all was beefing with, they getting some spins. They got the street element that they gonna allow. Oh. So they got the street element that they were gonna allow. And then you have whew, you have all these different elements and groups to look out for. Right? Mm-hmm. So they didn't want, every time they tried to find a way to embrace the Outlaws would find a way to F it up. Unfortunately. Holding on to grudges, and this is what Noble was trying to do with the group, is to say, hey guys, that stuff Pac was in, he ain't here no more. Biggie ain't here no more. People are gone. You know, it's time to move on. It's time to evolve. And Napoleon Mutah was hell bent. Drinking at the time, being irrational. Talking about they Pac enemies and we riding on them. You know, and just extra. And his one incident messed it all up. Right when they about to do a peace thing for Tupac and Biggie. So now every time they do a tribute to Biggie, to not necessarily Biggie, but Tupac, Yeah, he said every time they do a tribute to Pac, they grab Naughty by Nature. They don't even reach back for the Outlaws. And it's like, when they mention Tupac's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and they got like people like T.I. representing Tupac, it's like, what? Man, that was a Tupac fame, man. It's like, yeah, bruh, but there's a problem. Pac ain't know you. And that's just an example of how bad the relationship was. Like, even Puff went and saw the Outlaws and was like, why would you do that? Like, when he snatched the mic out of Puff's hand, like this is about honoring honoring your brother. Every chance they had to represent, they didn't do it because it's a group of them. Half of them will get it, the other half won't. And they just, man, I don't want to do it. So, being blackballed, that's a part of it. You know what I'm saying? That's a part of it. But it really like they blackballed themselves. They had some guys on the West that mess with them, It's just that out in Jersey, it was hectic. They was looked at mostly as West Coasters at that point. They went through a lot, man, trying to keep the group together. Still put out music and projects. I think that Outlaws for Life album was like the last real, outlaw album. But then at that time, Napoleon was gone. He was out the group. Now they found the new wave, telling stories on YouTube. It wasn't that nobody wanted to hear the Outlaws without Pac. They never knew the Outlaws outside of Pac. Unfortunately for them, the Still I Rise album, they would have had a chance to have that. Pac was opening the door for them. And then they would be known for their own individual songs. Remember they were dramacidal back in the day? Well, Dramacidal was signed to East West Records. That was Tupac's first label. People forgot he had that. It had Thug Life on it, everything. And that was signed with Atlantic Records. It was East West Echo. So, Dramacidal was signed over there. So So to pull the group out and the name and all that, so he just let that go. It was like, look, this is y'all new names, y'all the Outlaws, we the enemies of America, and this is this, you Idi Amin, you the Castro. So he just switched it all up, so it's easy to move them over. They were never signed to death row. With no deal. They were on hit 'em up. They was on made nigga. Pac was paying them. They were just living off being around Pac. They were never signed to death row. Suge Knight never wanted nothing to do with the Outlaws. Them were Pac guys. So when Pac died, it was like, all right, well, I'm gonna be nice to y'all because I need y'all. Right now, Pac just died. It'd be bogus if I don't look after his guys. So we one big family. Everybody get along now. I know everybody had beef. But now we finna stop this fighting. Oh, Young Month and Outlaw. Fatal was good. Yeah, Fatal was on point. But Fatal was he was more the street guy than anybody. Fatal loved the streets. Street life. Loved it. Even when he was in LA. Loved it. So when that awards stuff came home and he told them he needed dudes from Jersey and they brought all these dudes from Jersey out there, Fatal brought all them out. That's what it was about. And Fatal getting back in Pac good graces after tearing up his damn car. I did hear from Young Noble when I did the video about, I said Pac was the better and big MC. Much energy, you ain't seen him perform live. He's like, you seen Pac perform with MC. He showed Biggie the game, how to control crowd. He could, like, Pac could control an angry mob. He can entice one, start one. He's like, dude, Pac was so influential as an MC. He's like, you just ain't got to hear Pac in his full MC mode. I forgot about that. He did respond to that. That's why it's just, you know, if y'all taking these medications, man, read on these labels. Even when you get a new cell phone, they tell you on the warning sign on the cell phone, this cell phone may cause cancer. Swear to God. They tell you that. This cell phone may cause you cancer. And you might not be able to reproduce. I swear to God. Every new phone they got out now, on the warning boxes, they tell you that. It's crazy. Mad crazy. Now, I don't know what happened that made young Noble decide to take his life. If that's what happened, but knowing him, it just don't seem like something that he would want to do at all. Because he was worried about his family, taking care of his son, you know, his daughter, his kids. He was all about his family. So, you know, he was haunted by the fact his friend took his life. You know, he had a friend take his own life. And he was surrounded by so much loss. It was painful. Well, seeing all that is different because you lose a piece of yourself. You lose a large piece of yourself through all of it. No, nobody want to ever go through something like that. Who would want to go through something like that? Come on, be serious. Be real with yourself. You'll never forget it. That's why painful things you hold on to the most. Why do you think your memory works like that? The best times of your life, you could barely remember. But think of adverse situations, things that were against you. You remember those more than anything you've ever celebrated. In your life, you remember those moments. You remember those memories. You remember those times. Absolutely. Because in real time, those situations matter more than anything in the world. Those situations far outweigh anything you've ever done. Those situations shape and mold who you are. When people have like handprints in your life, you take that with you and through your life. It's like you're taking the torch from them and you moving forward. So that's what it's about. It's about taking on as much as you can and keep moving forward. Try to take the positive examples and learn from them. Move with them. Yeah, man, it's crazy. They've lost so many people in this rap game, rap beefs, that you inherit other people's beef. My homeboy inherited his cousin's beef. His cousin came to move and live with them because it was too hot where he lived. And because it's his cousin, he inherited his beef. You know, like, yo, you staying with us and this and that. But this dude would stay over there, but still go back to where it's hot. Go over there, start some shit, and then get out of the hood, and then come back there. And he come in there putting a battery in his cousin back. And was like, yo, so his cousin was like, all right, I'm gonna drive you over there. So he inherited his cousin's beef. He go over there. As soon as the car hit and they see, not knowing his cousin was wrong the whole time. He stiffed them dudes, he owed them money. His cousin was out the whole time. I'm like, if you keep coming, lay you out. Well, they're making a huge mistake. Well, the majority of the people that's involved, they have what you call more than you're able to take care of, more than you're able to handle. Well, TMZ gonna forever get things wrong. That's what they do. Yeah. Times is rough, it's hard. But people try to get through them every day. Yeah, on the Patreon, we talked about a lot of suspicious things that's happened last week. We got to get back to knocking out some business. But we will get back to that. Yeah, it's a lot of different things to exchange. You know, a lot of ideas to bounce around. Yeah, they said that. You know, it's a lot of people that say things that they don't follow up on. My idea, but no. Yeah, I'll do that on Nate Jones' story. I'll do that today. And we'll move on from there. 29 years to the House of Blues. Time fly, man. That feel like yesterday. Ignorance, it'll leave you gone. It really will. Some people won't even speak to you. Just remember the values. That's what you need to do. Remember the values. Right, remember how people lived. It's more important than how they died. I didn't even know that. Young Noble and Dead Prez put out an album? I never even knew. What's up, Gloria? Yeah, man, just be blessed, man. Still be on this rock. Don't take it for granted. You know me, I get out for my walk every morning, get the blood pumping, so we can go in here, get things done the way it's supposed to be. Yeah, I see. I got better air energy in this house. Yeah, we got a lot coming for y'all today. So we finally getting through a lot of this. I finally had time to sit down, stand up and walk and talk about young Noble. Rest in peace to him. Blessings to his family. Pray for them. To everybody that know and loved him. Blessings to your heart. We lost a good brother. Let's try not to lose any more. Always check in on your mental health. Keep your mental sharp, and that'll take care of your physical. And I'm out.